show up and then put it into writing and all that. But we have like a few people who have really been consistent every day, dropping their posts. They've been very, very consistent, and they've been dropping it on time and also engaging with other people's posts. And we wanted to celebrate them and give the most active person a gift. But I don't see them on the call yet. I guess they would join us. I guess they would join us later. Consistent. Sorry about that. So I guess they would join us. They would join in, later. But if you're on the call, if you're on YouTube, you're on the YouTube live, or you're on Zoom, and then you're part of those people who have been on the challenge, you can drop it in the chat. Let me see if you've been, a part of a part of the LinkedIn challenge, and you're currently on YouTube live or you're on Zoom. Let me see you drop something in the comments. Let me know those who have been, if they are currently on the call. If they are currently on the call, let's know. Let's see those who are. Oh, okay. Please, you still can't hear me on YouTube. I'm getting information that you cannot hear me. Please, can they check again if they can hear me now? Because I think it's speaking on YouTube. And they've been dropping it on time and also engaging with so I can hear myself. I don't know. Please, if anyone can hear me on YouTube, can you please drop it in the comments that you can hear me? Please drop it in the live comments that you can hear me, please. Please drop it in the live chat if you can hear me. Because I can hear myself. So I don't know why you can't hear me. Hello. But Ene, can you hear me? Can you still hear me on Zoom?
I can hear you on YouTube also.
Because I can hear myself. Okay, good. Please, if you are watching on YouTube, let me know if you can hear me. Please just drop it in the comments. I'll see it. Let me know if you can hear me clearly, please. Thank you. So yeah, so we wanted to celebrate some of them. So if you are here from the community, and then you've been a part of the LinkedIn challenge, the LinkedIn visibility challenge, let me know. Let me see you raise your hands in the comments. Let me see those who have been a part of us, who are a part of us here. Let's know. But then if you're just joining us for the first time, you are welcome. This is a good space for you to be in if you are a woman or a young mom in tech. This is the right place for you to be. So I'm waiting for those on YouTube. If you can hear me, let me know if you can hear me. I haven't seen anybody saying anything on YouTube.
Yes, I can see responses from YouTube now. They're saying yes, they can hear you. Yeah, I have like 4 people respond. Yeah, so you're good. You're good. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you true?
Okay, welcome back.
So
would you like to take over?
Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. Good evening. My lighting is not so clear now, but I hope you can see me very well. Okay, the important part is that you can hear me. So good evening once more, and welcome to everyone. I have been in here from the beginning. I was just trying to make sure that all the technicalities behind has been fixed and that YouTube has good streaming. So now that we're settled, I'm happy. Thank you very much, Esther, for the introduction, and also welcome to our upgrade webinars, okay? Then I really appreciate our speaker for joining us tonight. And I know we've had this conversation long ago, and it looked as if it was not going to happen. And eventually there is the right time. And I'm also thankful that you created the time to be with us. Yeah, we very much appreciate that. Okay. So hi, Adaku. Thank you for joining us here. And also for those that are joining us on through YouTube, Tamara, Doka, Samson, Omolola, Bumi, Eno, all of you, I can see you, and I hope to have an exciting interaction with you tonight, okay? Yep. So that said, first of all, I need to introduce myself, right? My name is Frances Aborigo, the founder of Shimeji with Innovation Women Empowerment Foundation, Shimeji. Okay, and this is our upgrade webinar. Okay, it's a series that bring together all our members and all the women, including men, because I can see someone joining us through YouTube that are building something. Maybe you're through with your bootcamp training and you're looking at what's the next step to take. Do you choose to build a startup, or would you choose to find a job? So we bring in speakers that are very vast and experienced in different fields to support and help you build that thing you're looking forward to. Okay, so please, if you're not yet a member of our community, please, it's exclusively for women. Join our community, visit our website, Shimeji Tribe, one word, .com. Okay, visit our website and you see join our community. Click the link, fill the form, and find yourself straight into our group. Okay, and there you'll be getting resources as much. We have a lot of things planned for this quarter. Okay, quarter that is ending in June, and also we have much more building on the background that will get to you. And while joining our community, you'll be asked to sign up for our mailing list. Please do so. Do well to sign up for the mailing list as well, so you can receive our emails, updates, log of information, and resources we would like to share exclusively to our email subscribers. Okay, now what are we about? Shimeji is focused on helping women, especially young mothers, who have had a reason to stop work at some certain times due to childbirth, migration, or any form of life experiences. So our coming together is to make sure that this woman does not lack in growth and career skills or career development. So we have built a foundation, a community, a bond that makes sure that this woman has everything she needs: information, resources, literacy in digital skills, tech skills, or whatever she chooses to learn. We have them, and we have training programs to help her, support her and empower her so that she can work remotely or choose any career path she wants to within that field of digital skills. So we hold this webinar every now and then. So if you're part of our community, you get to know when we are going live and you know what topic we are. And we do well also to always share our calendar. Our calendar till the end of June has been shared in the community severally. And if you're part of us, you will know what's coming up next week. Okay, so today, which is so beautiful, we're going to be talking about your portfolio, your finances, and tax. That is where you and government make friends or become enemies. You don't want to set up your business and have to pay for what you didn't work for because you don't know your rights and you don't know the right things to do, right? So putting that aside, before I go into that, Esther has introduced us to something. I know that was shortly before those in YouTube joined us, because I know that was still trying to connect, when she talked about the LinkedIn Visibility Challenge. This is also part of our way of supporting women. So we want to make sure that you're not building under the rock. You're not building in the secret. We know that whenever you make a contact, trust me, I remember going to a particular meeting engagement like that, and I was asking someone for his call card, he or she, I can't remember. And it was like, we don't do call cards anymore. We don't do business card. We just go on LinkedIn. So give me your LinkedIn handle and quickly we connect. So, and you know what happens on LinkedIn? If you set up your account on LinkedIn properly, your profile, your resume is summarized on your LinkedIn account. And I remember some years back when I made a connection on Facebook, we had a UX designers community of women. They were up to, was it up to 50,000 or 30,000 of them? And one of the community leaders, one of the admins in the community, threw out a job offer. She was working with Bloomberg yet then. So she threw out an offer, people that can partner with her to do a particular project. And I was the first to speak up. So I sent, she sent me a DM, was like, okay, let me see your portfolio and see what we can do together and know the part you're going to play, because she needs a lot of people to come together to work on that project. So it makes it fast when everybody, division of labor, right? So when I reached out to her and she made that, told me what, said my CV, she looked at it, said, fine, you were the first, because being the first gives you an advantage. The person recognizes you, remembers you, and it takes time to check out what you have to offer before others come rushing in. And I know that there are so many other people that are far experienced, senior designers as at then, that had gone ahead of me, but they haven't reached out to her. I was the first to be online at the time she did, so reached out to me. And then she told me that the only place she can socialize is on LinkedIn, and that was Facebook. And I was like, I've already reached out to you. We're talking on your DM. She said, no, she doesn't socialize on Facebook. She wants to go on LinkedIn. As at then, LinkedIn had blocked my account because of one error or the other. So I lost that contact. Till today, I don't even know the lady anymore, because it took a while before LinkedIn. I had to create another account on LinkedIn, because even as at then, my international passport had expired, and the only way I can recover my account was with international passport. It took a while before I got my international passport and still tried it. The account didn't come back. It was already lost, so I had to get a new account. So that is my own lessons. And also being the fact that some people like privacy and also like being informed before they take a big step of trusting someone to work with. So LinkedIn is your best place to put your best foot forward. There are other platforms, trust me. You can share the same thing you share on LinkedIn to other platforms. Remember, let LinkedIn be the place you show up the most when it comes to professional conversations. Show up on LinkedIn, then look at other platforms. You can still copy and paste anything you posted on LinkedIn there, but don't leave out LinkedIn, okay? So because we're having a LinkedIn visibility challenge, don't say you'll not post on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or other platforms that you're well known. Just know where your audience are. And if you want to build a career, just know who you can work with, partner with, provide for, or offer your services to. You can find them easily on LinkedIn. Yes. Okay, that said, so the LinkedIn visibility challenge has been interesting. Yeah, it started on Monday, and many of us have been consistent. There's this wonderful Queen Ginika. She's always the first. At least I noticed the first 2 days, she was always the first who would make her post and drop it. Then I encourage you to keep on doing that. We are watching, we are taking notes. We wanted to give today a surprise gift to the best performer. I don't know, Esther, do you have the reports now? If you don't, we will share it later in the group, okay? So that we will not take so much time. And our speaker is already here. She did not delay. She's also a member of the community. So we are at advantage that we can ask her questions anytime, any day within the community conversations. Okay, so back to what I was saying about the LinkedIn Visibility Challenge. We have been doing this, and I want to encourage everybody that is participating already to keep on doing what you're doing. People are watching. Trust me. I have met people that came to tell me, a professor actually in the US chatted me. I was like, Frances, I know so much about you right now. Like, where did you see what you know about me? I said, yeah, follow you on LinkedIn. And I was like, wow, that's good. And I never knew. I just thought I'll create content, I create information, I drop it there and I move on with my life. But people are actually watching and they are paying attention. And for the fact that you show up every day, when they remember the services you offer, who would they remember first? You, because you show up, okay? So keep doing what you're doing. And I'm even getting to know some of our community members. And sometimes some of them mention where we met for the first time. I also appreciate that, because it also helps me be accountable of how I go out or how I behave outside, because I get to meet people that get to follow me one way or the other. And they're also taking note of how they met me, or how I have contributed in their life, or how I have affected them positively or negatively. Please, I I try my best to put my best foot forward. And every interaction, I make sure I leave it with a good feeling from both ends. So with that, I want to say a very big thank you to everybody that is joining us. I know you're excited to know what is going to happen if you don't pay tax, or how do you pay this tax and have your peace. Please help me to make welcome our speaker for tonight, Ene Umoren. Esther, did you read her profile? Or do you have it here? Should we read it later? I know that. Okay, let me do the needful. Okay, I don't have the updated version.
I didn't read her profile, but I have the profile here. I can read it.
Oh, go ahead, please. Go ahead. We are talking to someone. Let's know who she is and know why we should pay attention.
Just give me a minute to.
Okay.
Yeah, just a few minutes. Let me get it out.
Okay, great. So those are joining us on from YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. And also, please remember, we can see your chat, we can see your responses. Feel free to ask your questions. We are listening. We're going to respond to all of them. We want to give you as much information as you need so you can go out and do the right thing and not spend money unnecessarily. I'm laughing because I had an encounter with FIRS recently that when I met Ene, she was telling me, imagine, and I was like, imagine, look at myself. Look at myself. Look at what I would have scaled through, but because I never knew the right thing to do. So
okay, I have it here. Can I go ahead?
Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So Ene Umoren is a creative professional and tax consultant at the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, as we know, Nigeria. With a unique blend of financial expertise and artistic flair, she's a certified associate of tax from CITN, a national chartered accountant from Annan. She also holds a BSc degree in information technology and business administration. She has her MBA and is currently pursuing her doctorate in business administration with a background spanning international relations, business IT, and journalism. Ene will be bringing a well-rounded, relatable approach to budgeting, tax, and financial planning with clarity and confidence. Also, she is a published author, music artist, and a media personality. She's passionate about helping young professionals and creatives manage money wisely, understand tax systems, and build financial discipline. In this webinar, Ene will be breaking down complex finance topics to us into practical real-life strategies that we can apply. So we look forward to the insights and value she will be sharing in this session. Please, with a clapping ovation, can we welcome Ene Umoren to our session? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you so much, Frances. Good to see you. And well done with all the challenges you've been doing on LinkedIn. I'll try to go and do mine. Trust me, it's an assignment, and it's been very wonderful just to see what you do for the community, for the women out there. If you're a young woman, married woman, a mother in tech, this is the right community for you to be part of, because there's so much they are doing for the tech women out there, and new innovations, and they just keep you on your toes to keep learning. And trust me, they have a lot of brains in here. So I'm also challenged to do my best. Well, because of time, I will just go straight to the point. Thank you for that introduction. I feel flattered. So I'll be speaking on portfolio finance and budgeting and tax. Like she said, there's so much you can avoid by just knowing what to do and how to do what you're supposed to do. And as a business person in Nigeria, those are areas you should look into, except you want to get your foundations very faulty. But if you have to get it right, you have to try, first of all, to build your portfolio and know exactly what you're doing. So I will be sharing my slides. So my slide is just very simple and creative. I'm not like Frances. Frances is a product design person. So her slides are always fire to look out for. Okay. So do you have my slides yet? Can you see my slides, Esther?
Yes, I can see your slide on Zoom. Please, those on YouTube, can you see the slide? Let me check YouTube, see if they can see.
YouTube usually have like a 2-3 seconds delay, so they'll be getting to see it now.
Okay, so on my first item, I have the smart money moves, budgeting, tax, and financial planning. I tried my possible best to just break this down as much as possible so anybody not even in business can understand what to do and how to go about then as well. So okay, so what is finance actually? Finance is the management of money, how you earn, save, invest, and then spend your money. And the key areas we'll be looking at will be on income, expenses, savings, investment, debts, and taxes. So every time they say tax, I laugh. So we have a slogan in FRS actually. We call the taxpayer king. So when you walk into FRS, everybody comes with the mindset that the taxpayer is king, and that's how we treat our taxpayers. We don't want you to have limited experience or bad experiences with us. So there are ways we can avoid getting caught up with the laws, because that's what separates tax and finance actually, because tax is fact and law-based, but finance, it's a way of handling your money, your income, and other aspects. So for taxes, we work with the law, and that's what the law has more power. So that's just it. So we'll be looking at these key areas, and I hope I can help anybody understand simply what this is about, so that we can focus more on taxations, the penalties, the taxes that are to be paid, and all. So for finance, for budgeting, and the portfolio aspect, I will just run through it. And if there are any questions, please feel free to write it down and call my attention to it at the end of the class or the webinar session. So budgeting is a financial plan that outlines your income and your expenses over a period of time. Budgeting is what we do on a daily basis, just that some of us don't take it as serious as finance people would. So for a wife or a mother, you go to the market. So that's like the easiest form of budgeting I can put across to you. You go grocery shopping, there are money you set aside for the month, money for upkeep for the house, and that is budgeting. Just that the finance people take it higher by doing a neat record keeping of what they want to use the income and where it goes into, which is the expenses over a period of time. So the basic rule when it comes to income and expenses, you have your savings or you have your debts. So budgeting helps you save towards an expenses that you are expecting to make from knowing what your income is. So that way you avoid going into debt. So some of the tips that I laid down here to make budgeting easy, you have tracking your spending, you use your budgeting apps, which I will mention later, and then you review monthly how much was spent, what could have been done to reduce the amount that was spent. Was it worth it, or was it a waste of money? So we have investments and portfolio as well. I'm running through my highlights. So investments is about allocating money into assets like stocks, real estate, business, and then to generate returns. So when we say real estate, a lot of people are familiar with the terms because we have a lot of forms of going into real estate these days. You can choose to invest in Airbnbs. You can build houses for rentals. You can even buy land and keep them to, appreciate over time. So that will be, real estate and how you can invest into it and generate income as well. So portfolio is a mix of assets held by an investor. And for young people, especially women, it would be beautiful to see a lot of women have built their portfolios to that standard that is required. And you don't need to break the bank. You don't need to try and be in competition with anybody. Just understand what is your income and try to invest as much as possible and then build your portfolio according to what you're earning or what your income, your profits from your business. So the whole aim also is just to diversify. When you diversify your portfolios and your investments, you are minimizing your risk also. So if we all heard of part of the crashes that go on with some of the investment people made. So that's really wrong investment. It wasn't really looked into. So that's why it's better you do things like stocks, real estate, and go into businesses. And we'll be looking at those much further down the line. So I also have the area of understanding tax in Nigeria. We have the PIT, personal income tax, the value added tax, withholding tax, CIT, which is company income tax, and then the stamp duty. All these forms of taxes are mandatory for you to pay or to know about them in Nigeria, because these are the taxes you encounter as a business owner. So I am assuming that a lot of us are into small businesses, that's the SME. So I would be limiting some of the examples and some of the areas I'll be covering for the webinar to small businesses. So let's go back to where we are beginning from. Okay, so the finance area, we're looking at income, we're looking at expenses. Income is the money that comes into your business for the year. I say for the year because when it comes to working on your audited financial statements, it's something that you do yearly. It would be difficult to be doing audited accounts monthly. So it's strictly by the rule, the standard of accounting, that has to be done yearly. So the financial aspect, the income aspect is what comes into, let me say, the business for that year. Then the expenses is money going out. I'll put it that way. So you have lots of expenses that you encounter as a business owner, administrative expenses, production expenses, depends on what you're into. So if you're into production, you have a lot of expenses going into raw materials, managing those raw materials, producing those raw materials into finished goods for consumers. And if you're into services, depending on the kind of services that you offer, you will also have expenses going into that aspect. Say, for example, you run a cleaning service and you're paid for maybe making people's clothes clean for your dry cleaning services. So you will have expenses going into, detergents, maybe Gen, because this is Nigeria, we have to be real. So you have those kind of expenses, running the gen, servicing the washing machine, you know, and all those assets that you might need to successfully run your business. Then we have the savings. So savings are usually done from your profits. When you get an income, you separate your expenses and the profits that are made, and take out your taxes also. Your taxes are not your savings. So try as much as possible to make sure that you separate your income from your expenses and then your savings. Then you have your investments. So the investment aspect is a lot of companies or businesses look into different angles of making money, how you want to keep increasing your capital, and how you want to keep multiplying the income for the company. Then the debts, those are realities that we have to look into. You cannot shy away from. I mean, sometimes you start a business and it goes wrong, or you might need to borrow loans, and different aspects to, I mean, from different organizations or loan companies and loan services to get your business running, to get the capital and all you need running. So that can be looked into as well. Then we have the area of the tax. So tax is what you pay to the government, or yes, what you pay to the government, and you pay your taxes from the profits that you make, not from, you don't pay taxes from your general income that comes into the company. So we also need to know how to differentiate with where we are getting our tax from and how we are calculating our taxes. So people have that fear because they feel like, oh, the government just wants the whole of your money and all that. No, that is not what the government is about. So we are all about you making profits and then giving to the government what you are supposed to give to the government. So for areas of portfolios, it will be wonderful to know that, first of all, you have to identify your niche. You have to identify your niche and the goals of what you want to achieve. So you focus on those areas. For example, this is a tech community. So if you want to go into software development or e-commerce, you should know, or you want to go into AI or fintech or develop an app that is supposed to, I mean, be commercial. So you have to know what you are dealing with and what portfolio you actually want to build and start building from those areas. So when you define your niche, you showcase your projects, meaning you begin your personal projects. If you're just starting, you build, you showcase your personal projects. For example, you develop the app that you want to develop and start showcasing the app, so, and then try to see if it's user friendly, if people love the app before you start making income from whatever services you want to render. If you're building a website, you want to be a website developer, you have to showcase your work. People need to know that, okay, this is what you do. And then they can start paying you to do those things. So all is a part of building your services, building your projects also is part of your portfolio. Then you have the client work, people you have worked for. That is your portfolio. So if you've done a lot of work, if you've, built a lot of website for people, feel free to put it out there and show that, oh, this is what I've done in the past, and keep growing. So you have open source contributions. This also highlights open work on platforms. You have like the GitHub, where you can access all those forms of open source contributions that you might need. Then we have creating online presence. I would leave that more to content creation and branding or marketing as well. So it depends on how you're running your business. You need to have like a portfolio website where you showcase what you do. Like Frances was talking earlier when we started, she talked about being on the LinkedIn. If you know you're a professional, and LinkedIn, people will take you more seriously than all of us see LinkedIn as a professional app. You know, it's different from Facebook, it's different from Instagram. So you highlight your skills and your tools also. You build your personal brand and get real with the world expertise and experience as well. Feel free to collaborate with a lot of people, gather your reviews. Reviews is important to build your portfolios. Please, business people, you must always be open to get reviews from your customers or your clients. Do not shy away from getting reviews. And then continuous learning and improvement. So that is what I would suggest on us building portfolios. So if you're a small tech company, if you're a new business just coming up, please, you should diversify and try to look into all these aspects as well. So I would go into, because of time, I'll go straight into taxes. I'll go straight into taxes. So tax, understanding tax and the obligation that is required from us as business owners is very important. First of all, what you need to do is you need to register your business. You must register your business. Register your business with the appropriate, the system of the government. Either you do it with LRS or you do it with FRS. FRS is Federal Inland Revenue Services, and then LRS deals with personal income taxes, while the FRS, I mean, we deal with more limited and companies and enterprises. So you have to understand your obligations. Then you need to understand the taxes that are going to be deducted, why it is being deducted, and how it is being done. So that's why you have your PIT, which is your personal income tax. That is taken from your salaries. Then you have your value added tax. These are consumer tax. So a lot of Nigerians, we pay tax in one way or the other. And the most common one is actually through VAT. So for people who feel like, oh, I'm not working under any employee, somehow you pay your taxes and you pay your VAT. So that's you paying tax to the Nigerian economy and helping us grow as well. Then you have your withholding tax. Withholding tax are tax that are withheld from the source. So if you render services, if you're doing contracts, so you would encounter a lot of withholding taxes because these taxes are already deducted from the source where you're doing business with or where your business is coming from. So it's deducted and paid to the government. So a lot of time you hear companies who are into big contracts, providing services for people, you always have your withholding schedule because these are things that will be required to prove that, yes, these taxes were actually paid or remitted on your behalf. Then what you can do is know the advantage of the tax that is being deducted and the benefits for you. So the tax is used by the government to, generate revenue for the country, for the economy to grow, and a lot of the development you see in a country is done by the taxes that are being paid by the citizens of that country. Then you have your company income tax, which are paid by the company owners. So they pay these taxes and it's also being used to generate revenue. Then you have your stamp duty taxes as well. So what you need to do is, first of all, you need to keep accurate records. Keep good, accurate records. Some of the records that each company is expected to keep. You have your invoices, you have your receipts. These are properly documented sales and expenses. You have your bank statements, which are used separately from your personal accounts. I don't expect any wise business owner to use their personal accounts for businesses because when you go for audits, the first thing you will ask for is for the statement for that company. And you cannot be telling the LRS or the FRS that the company doesn't have an account. How are you doing business if you don't have an account? You cannot use your personal business. So a lot of times when we go for audit, some of the challenges we have is you hear a taxpayer telling you, oh, this money was paid from my account, it was paid into so there's a lot of clumsiness with personal accounts getting involved with the business accounts, and it's really sometimes a struggle. So you must try as possible to separate business account from your personal account, because I don't know how you want to explain yourself out of it, because it will be taxed. Most of the money that comes into your business account has to be taxed, and that is how you're taxed. So if you're doing business with your personal account, then it's very shady. It doesn't look nice at all, and it doesn't look professional. So also you need to understand that capital allowance are being claimed depreciation on business assets. So when you have assets, you can claim capital allowance as a taxpayer. Your business expenses will be deducted. Business expenses, these are some of the expenses that we allow in tax. So you allow deduction of rents, you allow salaries, you allow utilities and professional fees. Nobody is going to tax your salaries. Nobody is going to tax, aside the payee that you pay to the LRS. There's no professional tax person that will come and tax your rent or tax your salaries that are being paid, or money used for utilities and your professional services fees. So these are things that are already been known to professional tax people, but you also as business owners need to know what is being deducted, what is being taxed from your income as well. Then you have your filing of your taxes on time, which was what Frances was talking about. And a lot of people have gotten into big time trouble by not filing their taxes on time. You need to know what tax you're filing. You need to know when to file these taxes. When it comes to your personal income taxes, you have to know how to go about them and who is deducting what. So if we know that there's a timing that is attached to a particular tax, it helps us to avoid penalties that comes with filing of these taxes. For example, the popular one we all know of, which is our VAT tax, is paid on the 21st of every month. So what you will do as a business owner is making sure that you already start keeping track of your sales before the 21st of any month, and start preparing to go and file from 19th and 20th already. So to avoid any clash of network or any obstacle that might stop you from filing your VAT taxes on 21st, because then you might get penalties that you have to pay for filing late returns. And that's where the tax collectors are looked on as bad people. We are not bad people, but we go by the rule, we go by the law. And if the law says you pay your VAT taxes before 21st, then you have to pay, because now we even have the system, the tax promax system, that automatically charges you the penalties. So it really has nothing to do with anybody. So even if you don't pay your VAT on time and you go there begging, there's nothing anybody can do, because tax promax will automatically calculate that penalty for that late returns. Then also, I would like us to understand that not every, when they say file your taxes, file your returns, is different from paying tax to the government. Say, for example, the government has waivers that they give to business owners. For example, we have threshold of 25 million, 100 million, 500 million, and up above. So if you're a business owner, a small business owner, and you're not making up to 25 million a year in Nigeria, you are not supposed to be paying taxes, but you are supposed to be filing taxes, because filing the tax is what tells the government that you are doing due diligence and you're still in business. But you need to file nil Nil means zero. Let me put it in a layman's term. So, but now, if you do not file those taxes on the right time and you get penalized, then there is that confusion and that conflict of saying, but I'm not making business, I'm not generating income, so why am I paying taxes? No, that was because you broke the rule. The rule says that if you're under 25 million, that is a waiver the government has done to ease the stress of business owners in Nigeria. So you now not knowing this law might go and be paying taxes to the government while you are under 25 million, or not even knowing that you're supposed to file on 21st, you go and file on 25th, and then you incur penalties. And these penalties will be there waiting for you because the system has already generated it and will be calculating it automatically. So because of time, I wish I could really cover so much, but we also have to take questions. And I'm more interested in the questions because the questions kind of let me know what troubles or what incidents that we have faced in the area of taxes and all. And I don't know, I might just share my slides with Frances or with Esther, so whoever needs it can actually ask for it and get the slides, because there was so much I was supposed to cover, but I'm not able to do that. So here I have the deadlines and the penalties, and I have for the PIT rates, the rates are there, which is 7 to 24%, depending on what salary you earn or what you're being paid. Then we have the VAT and the withholding, which are paid 21st of each month. Penalties, you can see, is from 50,000 and 25,000. So to avoid all this, please know what you're supposed to pay. If you're under the threshold of 25 million, enjoy that threshold that the government has given to you and enjoy the waiver and the benefit, because the government doesn't want to put so much stress on you. Pending when you start making a lot of money and generating a lot of income, then you can now start paying other taxes. But please endeavor to know when you're supposed to file and how you're supposed to file it. And that's why we're always available to help our taxpayers, to show them how you can do this thing. Even from your home, you can file your VAT. You don't need to come to any of the FRS offices to help you file your VAT. Once you are logged into Tax Pro Max and you're registered completely, certified and all, you have your tax identity number, which is your TIN, and you've started making businesses, or not even, making income, just meet the deadline before 21st, please, not after 21st. Then you have the annual returns, which is filed according to your accounting date. So every business owner has the option, the choice of choosing an accounting date. And we have some people accounting year end is, the year end is for 31st December, some are June, some are 31st March, some are even April, October. It's your choice. The government is not going to pick those dates for you. You decide, oh, this is the convenient time for me to prepare my audited financial statements. And from that audited financial statements, we allow you prepare it. We are not going to help you prepare your audited financial statement because we did not do the business with you. You knew what came in as income. You knew what came in as profit. You knew where your expenses were made. So your audited financial statement gives us an insight into your accounting book. And this is the area where you now need to calculate your taxes according to your profits made. And then take out 30%, depending on your threshold. If you're under 25 million, I've already mentioned earlier, you're not supposed to pay. But if you're above 25 million, then you calculate the taxes that's supposed to go to the government for CIT. So also we have default. Default can lead to, it can lead to sealing of your business. Thank you. So when you default in this payment, there are so many channels that are put in place already to check do a proper check-in of this. We don't just come and seal your businesses. We have the law enforcement department that handles that entirely, and that is another talk on its own generally. So that could be, I mean, I'll be more than willing to come back and share what that department is about when it comes to FRS or maybe LRS. So that is that. So we have freelance and creative taxes. So you register with your IRS, obtain your TIN, which is your tax identification number. Every business must have a TIN. If you don't have a TIN, it means you're not registered. So we track your income. You can track your income and your expenses and just keep good records of your income and separate them from your expenses and do proper calculations of your taxes that to be paid. If you're doing withholding, you should know what was withheld by the company that you rendered services to. Then ensure that your VAT receipts are kept. So each month that you pay your VAT, make sure you keep those receipts, because when people come for audit or any of those investigations that needs to be done by the government on your finance and your income, you provide those receipts as your claim and your proof. Then you have your FAR returns, which I spoke on earlier, the audited financial statement. Please endeavor to always file your returns, because if you don't file your returns, you're breaking the law. And if you break the law, there are penalties attached. So the government is not your enemy. The tax collectors are not your enemy. In fact, the government tries to simplify these processes and tries to put in place to make it easy. So in this age and time, you really don't have an excuse why you are not filing your VAT. Why you're not filing your taxes. Remember, filing your taxes is not paying taxes. You just need to keep a proper document and report of how your business is going. So quickly, I'll just go to, so for financial planning framework, I'll just list it out. You set the short and long-term goals. You track your income and your expenses, you create and stick to a budget, and you save consistently. As women, we should be big on savings. You should be big on savings. Savings doesn't mean you're hiding any kind of income from your husband or your spouses or your children or anything. No, it's just a wise way of handling your finances. You have to save. You have to get your insurance done. You have to invest wisely. And please do background checks before you invest into anything, especially in the country where we are. You have to do background checks to know what you're investing in. If it's stocks, if it's bonds, if it's real estate, be sure you're buying from the right company. There are lawyers out there who are real estate, who work with these real estate people, who look into the papers that are required and all those things. So please make sure that you do your checks and balances and pay stamp duties where it is required, especially with investments, documents, and all that. Then review and adjust regularly. So we have money discipline, delay your gratifications. That is, as a finance person, you should aim more to increase your income by decreasing expenses and making more profits and less losses. So that should be, first of all, one of the mindsets that, you should have as a finance person, as a person who's big on budgeting and planning for your taxes. Because if you don't delay those gratifications, if you're spending, if you're spending anyhow, then there's always that tendency to go into your taxes. That's where we now start having issues like, why should I be paying so amount to the government? Forgetting that the government also creates avenue for businesses to thrive. At least if they do that, you should be able to pay the little you need to pay to keep the economy running. Because at the end of the day, it is our economy, it's our Nigeria. We have to be responsible citizens. So avoid unnecessary debt in the area of your capital. That's why businesses should also do investment. It's not wrong for a business and an individual to go into investment. You can make money and bring money to the company, build your business and keep it going. Automate your savings. Savings can be deducted as soon as the income is coming in, depending on what kind of arrangement you have with your savings schemes. build emergency funds, and learn and also keep improving. There are different ways as your income grows, there are different ways to handle your money. If you cannot handle it yourself, get a professional to handle it for you. Get a professional to do your taxes, get a professional to run through your budgeting, your investment, and building your portfolio. And I'm sure there are a lot of experts available, even in our community, Shimerge. If you just reach out, there's so many people that can guide you on what to do. You know, building your website for your business, those are part of your portfolios. We have a lot of creative tech people at Shimerge that can handle all that. So these are just the key definitions of the taxes that I mentioned earlier. So I'll just skip all those. Resources, you have the FRS portal, which is the Tax Pro Max. So if you're a business owner here, you don't know about Tax Pro Max, please feel free to stop by any of the FRS offices and find out how to get yourself registered on Tax Pro Max. Because if you're going to pay your taxes and file accurately, you have to be on Tax Pro Max. Then you have budgeting apps that can help you also. In Shimerge, we're big on tech. So these are some of the apps that you can use for budgeting as well. We have the Piggyverse, the YNAB and the Excel as well for personal budgeting. You have investment tools, the Cowrywise, RiseVest, and Bamboo. Then for LRS, you can go to the lirs.gov.ng and find out more on how to pay this taxes to the government. So this is just a sample of budgets, income versus expenses. I will not be able to go into this in details. So this actually brings me to the end of my talk for this webinar. So I'd like to give this room now to any questions, and I'm more than willing to answer. So Esther or Francis, if you're there, you can take over. I hope I was able to do enough justice to these topics on a very short time. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. As when you said you were done, I was like, seriously, are you seriously done? We have a whole lot we want to dig right into. There are questions coming through. Yeah, there's one question in here. What's the remedy for those who have not compiled till date? Then a lot of questions. Someone asked, what is audit? I know that a little quick search on Google will help you on that. The person that asked, so that we can spend time on the ones that need real good answers. And I really appreciate you really well, because I don't know so much about the stats thing. Even though I'm learning on the job, I have to outsource, because I remember a friend of mine, they were going to receive funding from Total Energies. And then they asked them, bring in their audit, get everything. So they got someone to audit their accounts. And the guy was like, you guys are not serious. And they've been running for years, going to 10 years. Like, you guys are playing. And he told me that he was so ashamed of himself. They thought they are running business, that they are so accountable. So after that, they learned their lesson. And me too, I had to. The first time I went to the bank to open an account with Stanbic IBTC, they were the first to mention the word Tax Pro Max. You can laugh at me. I thought that was, is it a movie? Or like, what's Tax Pro Max? What's Pro Max? Is that a movie or I can't remember the particular word, because it doesn't sound normal. Pro Max. Is it a medicine? Is it a medication? Like, I'm serious. And they were like, madam, you have to go and get your Tax Pro Max. I was like, okay. Yeah, this is a new business. So there's also this thing I see on your certificate. Whenever you receive your certificate for your tax promise or tax identification number, they used to write it that you should put this thing inside all your invoices. And I don't know if we take note of that. Make sure, as you're creating your invoice, make sure you show that you pay tax, and also make your clients pay tax. You please put it. You shouldn't be paying for nothing. But I don't want to talk about this, because I'm not a professional in this field right now. I came to learn, and I'll focus now at the questions. So the next few minutes, we're going to answer as many questions as we can. Esther, please, can you help us with the questions coming from YouTube while she responds to the questions that are already on Zoom right now? the remedy for those that have not been compiling, that has not complied to date. So what's the remedy? Thank you. Did you get my question? Did you get my question? It's in the chat. You're muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the question? Sorry.
The question is here on Zoom. It says, what is the remedy for those who have not complied till date, like for a long time, the person has not been complying? So what's it?
Okay. Well, it's better late than never at all, because the more time you waste, the more, the penalties are increasing. So imagine like a company that started business since 2018 or 2016, and then you now fall into the tax net in like maybe let me say 2024. So when that happens, automatically they are going to calculate every income. They're going to calculate tax on incomes that are due for taxes. And imagine how much that will be. So it will be a very heavy tax to pay on the taxpayer. And most of the time it's not something that we want for anybody, but it just so happens that if you want to register a business, you should ask the right questions. Registering a business is a big deal. Business is business and it is important. So you must know, first of all, how to build the business. And these are like the foundations for any good business to thrive on. And some companies will not even work with you if you don't. Most times, if you want to get contracts, they have to ask you for your tax clearance. So how do you get tax clearance if you don't pay taxes? You still have to come back to the government. And then when you need those big contracts, you now fall into the net of the government, and then they now have to look into the incomes that you have been making. And it will be painful for you to start paying those taxes, because you can say it's ignorance, but the law does not know ignorance. Because if you're doing business, the bank is supposed to have, even in the bank these days, they ask for your tax identification number, which is your TIN, before they even open the account for the business. So you see, you must endeavor that you are registered on tax formats. And that's why when you ask the question, where do you start from? You just have to start. As you're getting this knowledge, you just have to start, because the earlier you start, the easier it becomes. That's the best answer I can give to that. So how you start is by knowing, first of all, how to properly register your company and register them with FRS and get yourself on tax formats. And if you're making more than that threshold, we are more than willing to guide you on how things are to be done. Trust me, FRS or the tax system is not your enemy. It's not your enemy. It's not the way people make it look. If you go there, you can, even if you don't want to meet the major people who are maybe in the returns and processing unit, from the reception, there's so much you can find out from the receptionist. And a receptionist cannot be harassing you. The receptionist is more than happy to explain. Okay, they will even ask you the right question and even give you more insight. What kind of business do you do? Are you limited? Are you enterprise? And tell you where you belong. When they are done with that, they will ask you, do you have a TIN number? If you don't have a TIN number, they will help you get a TIN number, help you get registered, put you on tax format, activate your tax format, and now guide you on how to start filing your VAT. And if they see that, oh, your income is not up to 25 million, they'll tell you, okay, do not pay taxes, but file your tax record with us every month before 21st. So you have to just start. You have to start.
Okay, thank you very much. While we are talking, something occurred to me, and the first thing that came to my mind, I'm smiling about, is you cannot be poor and lazy at the same time, because you're asked not to pay tax and you are not paying tax. Just tell us that you're not making the money. Okay, so I know some people are asking about withholding tax over there on
Yes.
YouTube,
Yeah.
and someone says she was still charged. What could cause that? What could be the reason, and
Okay,
how
so
could
the
they
thing
rectify?
is, withholding doesn't have much to do with 25 million, all those thresholds, right? Because withholding is taxes that are withheld at source. So for services that you render, the taxes is withheld and paid on your behalf. So if you are the one that gave someone, I mean, the job, meaning like you called for his services to be done, you are supposed to withhold the tax, which is now the WHT. So it's withheld tax and pay back to FRS, remit back to us. You understand? So it has nothing to do with that actually. So if she was charged, it means she rendered services or she withheld on the behalf, I mean, behalf of the person who rendered the services actually.
Okay,
So
that's great. Okay.
as a business owner, you should always ensure that when you go into that contract with people you do business with, a lot of time these companies know this rule that for giving out a social contract and for you to render that service to them, they are supposed to take out a certain amount for withholding. So please, they know their part. You just need to maybe mention it that I hope the withholding has been taken care of. And I mean, if you are the one now giving somebody services, please take out the withholding because if it's the services that was rendered to you, we would ask you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Yes, I
Yeah.
can hear you. So
Yeah.
Esther, please, we haven't seen the questions. Can you still help us on YouTube? I know
Okay,
a lot
yes.
of questions are there.
Yes.
Mm,
So on YouTube, I think she already started answering some, but let me just read them out.
okay.
There's a question here that says, is a company expected to start paying tax as soon as it is registered? So I think you already answered that with the, but do you have any other thing to say concerning that?
Okay, so what I would like to add to that is, so for business owners, we usually have your commencement date and we have your commencement date and then we have your incorporated date. So the date you are incorporated is not the date you commenced business. The day you commence business is the day you start transacting and profits is coming into the company or incomes are being generated from that business that you're doing. And trust me, the government is not foolish. They have a lot of channels that they can check these things. So before you hear somebody saying that, oh, you made you made income but did not remit, they can check through your bank because if you're a business owner, money comes in to your bank. So even if you tell us, oh, you didn't commence business, and they check your bank statement and see that, oh, it was paid in the business name and paid from another business owner, they will ask you questions. And if you, I mean, you have to be able to defend it. So you start paying when you commence. And when you commence, check your threshold so you don't put pressure on yourself when the government is trying to help you. So because I mean, anybody can see that if you commence business, the business don't start running automatically and start generating income. Some business do that, but for small businesses, it's not always the case. It might take a year, it might take some time, you know. So they also do all that checks. The government is very smart. The financial system is a very intelligent system and is built to help you. It's not supposed to be like a loophole for you to fall into, I mean, a ditch. And nobody's there to witch hunt any business owner. The taxpayer is king. That's why they let you do your audited financial statement. Then you now bring it to us, which is where you file your annual return. So it's what you give to the government that they look into. You understand? The only thing the government will just try to do is, okay, could there be areas where there were lapses of your own calculations about the taxes you were supposed to pay? So if you made so income, what was your expenses? Oh, this is my expenses. Okay, this is my profit. So that's what we now tax take the taxes from, not because you made 100 million, they just tax the 100 million. No, it doesn't work that way. If you make 100 million, you might have spent 20 on expensive, you might have spent 15 on, raw materials, production cost, and all those things. So that has to be looked into. And that's why most times get a professional or get someone to just guide you, so you are not shooting yourself on the leg and panicking where you don't need to panic. Like there was a case we handled last week. I'm just going to give these examples. The people were so professional with their bookkeeping that everything was intact. And I asked the man, like, most times we don't encounter situations like this. How were you able to come to this point? He said he had a bad experience because of their own ignorance. Yes, and they paid dearly for it, you know. And although the government tries to make instrumental payments available and some other means for you to pay this debt, and they try to be reasonable, but he learned from that lesson and he took every advice that the auditors gave him. So most times when we even come to audit a company, people are panicking, but we auditing you is actually going to help put your books in order, because you will now know things that needs to be done to keep your record accurately, and you will now know where the checks are being done, so you can now improve on it. If you were not keeping those records properly, areas where you neglected, you know where to firm it up, and guess what, they didn't really have much to pay. That's the fact. At the end of the day, we looked at ourselves. We're very impressed with them, and we had to tell them that. And the man told us that he learned from a previous experience, and it was very embarrassing. And he said he wasn't going to be in this situation again. And they did the best they can, and they paid their taxes. And we saw that what they paid and the books and the record they kept was everything was aligning. It's just we just need to keep learning and learning and learning and reading, going online, asking questions, walk into these offices, ask as much questions as you want to ask. Nobody will tell you, Oga, madam, your question is too much. No, they are there for a reason. Make your list of questions. What you don't understand, ask one after the other. If they cannot answer you, there's another department to answer you. Nobody's going to put a gun on your head. Please, let's not make finance and tax and all this look like, oh, it's for some bookworms and everything. No, it's not supposed to be that way. It's something we do every day. It's just that in the business aspect, you do it more professionally. So, it's like a woman going to the market. You have to budget. You have to know what is allocated to what. So see it in that aspect also.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are like two more questions that I would like to take here. We cannot take, I think most of you were still asking like same question, but then there are some that are different. So let me just take two more.
Let me have the two.
So this one says my client,
Okay.
my client deducts WHT from every business. So with them, I'm still within 25 million threshold. How do I handle it? Did you get
She has
that?
responded to that.
I don't know
She has
what
responded to
WHT.
that. She has responded to that. Is the withholding tax. Yes, that's what she talked about before the last question. But the question that has been recurring now is more like a question of, do I start paying tax as soon as I incorporate my company? She has responded to this question. So maybe if you're joining us late, watch the replay. Okay, you're meant to have your bank account created, please. In fact, let me settle down. Like, once you choose to start a business, please go and register. These things are not as hard as you think. You can register your company with your phone. This is legal. I'm not hiding my mouth to say it, because people are going to charge you. I will help you to do your CSC, because we approach everything documentation in Nigeria with fear. That is it. It beclouds us from taking decisions that matter. Do you know that you can do your driver's license, update it online with your phone? Yes, I've registered companies with my phone. with my phone without paying anybody. All I needed was go to CAC website, create your account and register. And people are doing it for you and charging you money. You go to a business center near your house. You're educated. You're the tech person in the environment. How come you can't do your stuff yourself? Because we are afraid that we'll make mistakes. If you know you will make mistake, walk into those offices and ask questions. Ask questions. You have the right to know, okay? Government has made offices available. Do you know some people, let's go back to our mental attitude towards things. You were in school, you were in university, and you're asked to go to dean's office or the VC's office. We are afraid. Because we started getting scared when we were in nursery school or primary school, that once the headmistress or headmaster or principal calls you, you're in trouble. Now we're taking that, it's a mindset issue, and I think we should look into that. That's part of what we're going to deal with next month. In the month of June, we're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about personal branding. We're going to talk about authenticity. As a business owner, as a leader, there is a personality you need to embody. Okay, now, whenever you're starting a business, don't see yourself as a starter, like you are just in one corner doing your small thing. Maybe I'm selling crayfish and I'm selling dry fish. Look at how all these what they call them, all these top companies, CEOs, Fortune 500, Fortune 50, how do they plan their life? Sometimes you hear them share things. What do they do to run their business? You are not there, but the important thing is have this mindset that I'm growing a business that will be global. What is expected of me? So you have to register and have a bank. Now have a budget. If you don't know anything about budgeting, we have Money Africa. Remember, yes, I don't know so much about finance. I had to go and subscribe to Money Africa. And I sat down, I took their courses, and I stayed in the community conversations, everything listening. That's why community is very important. So I made my first investment, okay, through the knowledge I gained from them. And I knew from every information they were sharing, I trusted the information they supplied. So I made the launch. I made investment, okay? So companies, foreign companies, and all the rest, you buy your, okay, different things. I'm not going to go into that. Then these things are very important to you, because if you think you will sit down and have all the information, you know you will not get it. Secondly, we are afraid to ask questions so we don't look stupid, or and we're afraid to go out and we get into trouble because we are afraid. In fact, it's all in the bracket of fear. Nigerians, we are fearful. A child cannot ask an adult question because of fear. I don't want to be judged. Forget it, let them judge. The important thing is, did I get what I need? Is my business going to get better? What are the mistakes I'm going to avoid if I ask questions? Okay? Ask questions, walk into offices. The worst case scenario, they will send you out. You come back inside. Okay? Then FIRS offices are always in many local governments. I've been to 2 already. And around me, they're not so far from my place. I got to the first one. I told them, I don't like your office. It's too far from me. And they were like, okay, well, let's transfer your account to the one that is much closer to you. And they did. These people are so nice. I've not paid a dime to tax office. Okay, I've not paid a dime to them. I walk in, I ask questions. They ask me to fill forms, get this document, provide it, just as if I'm opening my bank account. It's that easy. Okay, please, once you think up of a business, register it. Go to CAC platform. You will see create account. It's free of charge. Create your account, register your company. If they review your business name and they don't like it, they will send you a feedback that is not right. Okay, for that reason, we're going to invite, I'm going to create a time so we can invite someone that works with CAC. Okay, so he or she will come and talk to us. We'll look at helping you on that, because I want people that want to do leadership. I believe in doing things the right way, okay? Because when you do things the right way, you will not have issues. It's like driving with all your documents intact, like you've paid everything in your car is processed, every paper is ready. Yes, you drive confidently. And that's the way businesses are. So there's this thing they used to say, if you really want to make it, like reach that point that they say, get financial literacy first, then get yourself a finance person as a get a lawyer as a friend, get a tax person that has understanding with auditing, finance, and the rest as a friend. So in case the finance person is not generally okay, if it's not vast in all the information you need, get yourself a friend. Thank God I know Ene, and she's also a member of our community. So, and also to top up on this, because yes, I know we get to learn as we're having these webinars, we are also coming up with ideas and things that will help us to support you. So if you're not yet a member of the community, you're going to be missing, yeah, quite a lot. We plan to have a meet and greet, a physical meeting for our community members in the month of June. So I'm also thinking of inviting her to come so we can sit down and talk. If we have a good network so we can stream live, then you can ask questions, that will be possible. But if you're located in Lagos, we'll find a way to a date that works so that we are all together, sit down and let her look. It will take a few minutes to look at one or two things and answer your questions, okay? Because I know there are few other things you need to know, but you have seen her slide. I want you to take notes. If you are taking screenshots of all those tasks and go and read about them, all this information are online. When you go to FIRS and they get your tax clearance and everything, get your certificate, you are given a login details to your Tax Pro Max account. You log in. There's a video on YouTube on how to create a tax. I think it's Federal Internal Revenue Service that posted that video, because when I was trying to know about Tax Pro Max, I saw the video and the guy was detailed step by step. Create your account, go to this place, click on this, put in your name and file. It was so easy and free of charge. Okay. Okay, our community is strictly for women, so you can let your wife join us, okay, or your daughter or your sister. Yes, please. Our committee is for women. But if you want to know any information, feel free to chat me or chat any of our members in here. Please, we will help you, support you. There are some men that have joined us in our meetings. We don't discriminate. Yes, we don't discuss anything that is secret. The only thing is that our conversations and our focus is to support women. But if you need any information, please feel free to chat me up. I'll respond to you. You can see me on you can chat with me or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I don't know, yeah, LinkedIn or any of the social media handles, or go to our page, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, send us a message and we will respond to you. Okay. Okay. Yes. And if you want to be in our meet and greet, that's still fine. We will let you know if you are. Then join our mailing list as well, so that you will know when and what is going on. Information will be passed across to you, okay? Then subscribe to our YouTube channel. Obviously, you will know when we go live, and you also be part of sessions like this, okay? So before we return to the questions. I've made some key things you should know. Once you think up of a business, register it. It doesn't cost you nothing. As in, it's like 30K or 15,000 for business name. Please don't quote me until you confirm. I don't know how much it is anymore. Then for limited liability, it costs a little more. Yeah, it's not, none of them are up to 50,000 yet to register a company name. It's not much, but if you need assistance, we had Hafsat that was here last week. She can help you with that. So you can send a message to our admin in our group. Then she will relay your information with Hafsat or send you Hafsat's contact so you can continue with your business registration. Then for everything that has to do with tax, you will also reach out to Ene. She's a part of our community. And also, please don't disturb her. If you want to disturb her so much, or any of these people I'm linking you to, pay consultation services or even buy a recharge card. I don't understand why you should be asking too much questions without dropping something. Okay? Okay. So that's it. Register your company as soon as you think up of one. Go and open a bank account for it. Receive your funds into that. It helps you to be accountable. Whenever you want to make a transfer whatsoever, if you want to use your personal account, please make sure you document it or state the reason for that transfer. It helps your auditor to tell when you're making business transactions or you're making personal ventures or expenses, okay? Then when you are done creating your account, because before you even start opening your bank account, they will ask you for your TIN. That's tax identification number. So how do you account without your visiting the tax office. So do that. And if you cannot visit the tax office, is there any way one can do it? Can they reach out to you to help, or must they walk into the office? I want to confirm that so that we will do the right thing. Hi, Ene.
Hi. So
Okay.
most times it's better they walk into the offices.
Okay.
Yes, that's if you're ready to, I mean, get it done. Except you just want to consult, then you can, I mean, reach out and ask questions, maybe documents that are required, what's needed for registration and all that, or what are the documents that will be asked. But aside that, if you're ready to start, just go to the nearest. That's why you have a lot of offices at different locations. Sometimes you have 2 to 3 in a particular place. So please just walk in there, and you can even easily collect the forms and just go with you to fill them and bring them back. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And there was a
And also,
question. So there was a question somebody asked.
okay. Okay, go ahead.
I saw it on the YouTube. It said, what is the difference between, is it the federal and the state taxes? Yeah, so I mean, it's important that you know what you're paying. I mean, who you're supposed to pay your taxes to. So most times the federal income tax are collected by the federal government. So you also have a list of taxes that is due the federal government. Then the state government also collects tax. Is collected by individual states. Most times it depends on where you're residing. So if you're residing in Lagos, obviously your taxes are paid to the Lagos state government. But when it comes to the federal, it's not about the location particularly. So I hope that answers your question. So you just need to also know the list of taxes that are under the federal government and what is due the state as well. So there are different taxes that are paid to the federal government, and that's which is for the state government.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Esther, are there questions? Unique questions you can respond to before we call it today?
No. So I think she has answered most of the question. That was the second one I wanted to tell her, but yeah, she has answered it too.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so someone say something about it used to be a thing that people start paying tax after 18 months of commencement. Yeah, it sounds as though you pay tax, because that question sounds as if the person is asking you pay tax whether you make a profit or not. So please, can you respond to that?
The thing is, once you commence business, that's why you have to know your commencement date. Is necessary and important that you start filing, and you start filing your audited accounts within 18 months. No. So you have to know your accounting date, build it from your commencement date. But like I mentioned earlier, that's the date that you should calculate from when your audited accounts are due to be filed to the government. So it's just like the government saying that, okay, you've done business for the year, right? You've done business for the year. Put your books together, put everything that needs to come to us according to the accounting standard, and submit it. So that's why most companies get consultants to do these things for them, because the consultants are professionals and know the accounting law, the format, and how this audited account should be built, what is supposed to be in the audited account, like your balance sheet, the directors, every information about the directors, the capital, the administration, the cost of sales, the administrative expenses, and everything that has to do with your income. Everything, everywhere money went into for that year for the business will be put into the audited account, the profit and loss account, the taxes that are also being paid, because there's a page for the tax in the audited account also. So that's why the 18-month comes in. So they give you that ample time to do your yearly annual income.
Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. I think with that, she has responded to most of the questions. And I know that because when it comes to money, yeah, we don't joke with that. And I I'm so grateful that for the number of people that showed up today. Please keep the energy up. Go back home, do the needful, okay? Yes, money is, I wouldn't say it's hard to earn, but money is worked for, and you shouldn't make waste, okay? If you're not supposed to pay for some certain things, pay attention to how much you spend. When you see your budget and your expenses, you can tell what subscription needs to be removed. Okay, you might be subscribing for too many things because it seems as though every application requires some level of subscription or the other. If it is unnecessary for your business, including AI tools, let it go. Use the unpaid one. So last week we talked about your business model, and our speaker shared about lean business model. If you're practicing lean business model, it will help you with your finances because you cut out on things that you don't necessarily need to, things that you can outsource or exchange value. So if you're a designer and the other person is a marketer, you can work together, collaborate while the marketer is marketing, while you're designing for the person, and you share value in a way that you don't get to spend. Okay, so see how you can cut down expenses and increase your profit, or maintain your profit and reduce your expenses. That's practicing lean. You're leaning down on excess fats. You're leaning down on excess expenses. It will help you to save. I remember she mentioned something. She emphasized on savings, especially for us women that are here. I know. It somehow is incorporated in many women to save much more than men. It's not a biased thing. It's something that is like we get to learn it when we are much younger, because you know that one day you need it. So you start saving. But if you don't naturally have this saving culture, create out time to save, okay? Make sure that as a business owner, you set aside money for emergencies. Okay, so there are some days that things work well. There are some days that, as a business person, so nobody's paying you salary. At least you've not broken even. So you're not getting salary. That means you should work towards maintaining or retaining jealously what you have earned, making sure that documents are well placed so you too, you can understand what's going on. Then in case you're not good with numbers, I have seen people that genuinely afraid of numbers. They're good, they're creative, they're techy, they're smart, they're intelligent, they have high IQ. But when it comes to numbers, they have this dread. So these people, if you're that kind of person, just get yourself someone that can take care of that, and make sure that if you buy anything, put down the receipts. That is how our mothers, our great grandmothers did business in the past, and they saved like every dime they made and were able to transfer wealth to the next generation. Yes, they bought gold. How many of you still have gold, like correct gold, like now, out of your business money, you have gold? You don't. Why? Because you're still starting. But we have Bone Straight and all the rest that are eating our funds. Now, we are experiencing the same kind of temptation they did, but the difference between them and us is prudence. So are you ready to keep back some certain change for the future and not invest it in CBEX? Yes, I shot the shot. In case you want to stone me, I'm far from you. So, all these things come to steal from you, and you made some money and you're like, okay, I'm going to use this to invest, and I'm going to buy this container, this ship, and all that with my business. I'm making this kind of money. So when I invest it, it will double for me. You are entering a den of lions, and you will come out crying. So as a business person, be prudent, be careful, do your background check. If it's too good to be true, it is just like that. It's too good to be true. It's obviously not true. Okay. And not everything that glitters is good. Please let me not go into preaching, but I want to let you guys understand that running a business is not easy. So your money should be held and protected jealously. Okay. Whatever you make, have savings. If you're running a business and doing a side business, okay, like side hustle, please go and register that side hustle. One day, that side hustle might be worth saving you. Yeah. So you might walk away from the business and grow your side hustle to become something. When I was in fashion school, I had colleagues that were doctors. They were making clothes. You're creating, choosing fabric and the rest of them. So your side hustle might turn out to be what you do eventually. Register it and start filing. It's that easy. You can get the app or get it on your browser, start filing. That you did not make anything this month, nobody will beat you for it. And some of us used to be afraid of going to, because I mentioned it earlier, we're afraid of so many things. Even to ask a nurse question, we say nurses are wicked. So we will not ask nurses questions when we need to. Same thing applies to when we go to this office, is tax office. Say tax people will rob me. So I will not ask them question. Please, they are not that bad. I have met a lot of them. In fact, last week, I spent quite a number of times with them and I got a new certificate for another project I was working on. So please go in and do the needful, okay? I want to use this to say a very big thank you to our speaker. Wow, it's like we shouldn't let you go. Well, really appreciate the detailing. You can see she's so invested in what she does or what she's doing. She's knowledgeable. She has experienced it. She's a good person to talk with. And I will talk about, I'll talk with you later, Ene, so we can see how we can get some time to have a call or the physical call we're going to have in the next month to see how we can reach you so that much more questions, direct questions can be asked. I know I really want us to do business well, especially this year, and knowing about the current economy in Nigeria and outside the whole of Africa. We understand what's going on. Okay. Then to you that is joining us, thank you very much. For those that join us in LinkedIn Challenge, keep it up. And those that are willing to join our community, please, the links have been shared on YouTube. Even for those that are watching the replay, join us because much more are coming next week. We're going to talk about something, and our speaker will be revealed very soon. We're going to be approaching. We're going to be talking about. Why am I forgetting the topic we are discussing? We're going to be talking about funding, investment, grants. So if your portfolio is not well prepared, or your proposal or whatever documents you want to use to apply for grants, what are you doing? If you don't have your finances put together, how will you answer investors? So next week, we're going to be looking at investment, grants, and everything that has to do with bringing in the money. Abi, thank you very much for joining us. With that, I want to say a very good night to all of us. So, Ene, would you want to say your last word before we leave?
Okay, thank you so much. Shimed Tribe Community, thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be part of this community and what you do for people, how you encourage people and keep building them. It's not easy to just, keep pushing and rooting for people daily. And I see what you do, and that's why I'm so happy to be part of this community. And then you choose to focus on women, not ignoring the men, because a lot of times women are the homemaker. So if you have a wife that is very much aware, and growing and developing herself, it pays off on you as the man, and it pays off on you as the children you are bringing into society. Please don't be scared of budgeting or building a financial portfolio for yourself. You can start small. You're not competing with anybody. If you're earning 50,000, earning 100,000, just find what works for you and do good investment. And if your money is not up to Banana Island, you can start from Moe or anywhere and do real estate, do investment. And when it comes to taxes, don't be scared of the government. It doesn't matter. On this side where we are or where we are from in the country, I believe we can all work together and just get better. The good thing is the person we have in tax right now is doing everything possible to make sure that that system works and is easy and simplified for taxpayers. And believe you me, if you haven't entered the tax office recently, you should endeavor to do that. Even if you don't have anything to do, just go and have talks with the staff. People are learning. The whole system is being rebranded. So it's supposed to make the taxpayers' work very easy. So please don't be scared of the government. Ask the questions you need to ask for Nobody's going to put a gun on your head and ask you to pay taxes. But also, please do not defraud the government. If you're doing business in Nigeria, it means that's the environment you're making profit for. The little you can, pay to the government. Satisfy your own conscience and let the government do what they need to do and the development they also need to bring to society. Then your finance, keep planning, keep saving, keep investing. These are topics that we keep learning every day. You cannot know it all. I wish I had so much time because there was so much I wanted to share, but I mean, I'm glad that we've started this conversation and it can go on from there. So thank you so much for having me. And I'm so glad to be here and to just give what I have back to the community. So it's my privilege, actually. Thank you, Frances. Thank you, Esther, for being. Esther did very well. Maybe you should give her a bonus.
Yes,
She
yes.
kept following me
Yes,
and she
thank
kept
you.
pushing me, kept sending me reminders. And she's so skilled and talented. Esther, I want to give you your flowers because I don't know how to give people flowers behind their back. I know
Yes,
I don't do it
Thank
for
you.
them.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
so
Ene. I really appreciate you.
you're
Thank
such a
you.
I'm an administrative person, and I appreciate that. Thank you for making it easy and answering all my questions also. God bless
Yeah.
you.
Amen. Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Gilda. Thank you, everybody that's joined us. I also appreciate you. Renew me. Yes, I can see you, Awele, every single person, Damilola, Ewela. So yes, I may not pronounce your name well, but I see you, Razak Joseph. Thank you so much and have a beautiful night rest and a lovely weekend, right? Today is Friday, so enjoy the weekend. Think about these things. By the time you launch out on Monday, please do the needful. Okay? Good night. Bye.